What is going on, guys? It's Austin here with Express Towing. We are headed up to Beckley, West Virginia to pick one up for our good friends at CarMax. Left out of Roanoke at about 5:30 this morning. Says we'll be up there at 7:40. Making some pretty good time. It's been a minute since we filmed a video. Just crazy stuff happening, a lot of stuff going on. So, but glad to be back, and we'll pick y'all up when we get there and get loaded. Alright guys, we got this thing loaded up. Got the 2019 F550. It's 2021 Kia K5. Went up to Hometown Kia in Mount Hope, West Virginia. It's like right outside of Beckley. We're actually at the Beckley Travel Center right now, getting some fuel. Put a transmission in it. Got to pick it up, take it back to CarMax. So we are heading back to Roanoke. I'm going to do a top 5 things I wish I would have known before I got into towing on the way back. So I'm gonna let it get a little bit brighter outside. Can't really see good in the truck, and then I will pick y'all up here in a little bit. But loaded, 4 points of contact, strapped down, ready to roll back home. All right, so top 5 things that I wish I would have had more help with going into the industry. We got trucks, insurance, clientele, those 3. Maintenance and training. Trucks, you don't need a brand new truck, as I say, sitting in my brand new truck. Not brand new to me. I went out, I got a 2019 Ford F550. It had 150,000 miles on it. Very, very clean, very nice road trip truck. No rust, everything worked. The company that owned it before me took very, very, very good care of this truck. Personally knew them, that's why I had no problem, you know, going out and getting it. But starting out, I wish I would have just bought a $15,000, $20,000 rollback and called it a day. Paid cash for it, that way I didn't have that big initial payment starting out. Didn't know how well we were gonna do, didn't know the amount of clientele that was gonna, you know, that we were gonna have, didn't know the amount of call volume that we were gonna have. I really didn't want to do motor clubs. We actually ended up signing up with 2, and then got so busy that we couldn't even keep up with them. So we barely have done any work for motor clubs. Everything is cash customers and shops and dealerships and of that sort. So next point, insurance. Make sure you have good insurance. You are on the road 24/7. You're dealing with other people's cars, you're dealing with other people's stuff. We do a lot of high-end stuff. I don't know why, but we're really good at what we do, and people trust us, and we have all the equipment to do pretty much anything lowered, crazy, exotic. I mean, we got soft strap bridles, fully powder coated frames are no problem. I mean, we got all the equipment to do it, and people trust us. We've made a really good name for ourselves in the performance world, kind of, and work with a lot of local performance shops with lowered vehicles, and work with a lot of detail shops on their high-end clients that don't drive their cars. We actually tow them over to the detail shop. I know that sounds silly, but when you got money, you got money. Insurance is going to be really high for your first year starting out. Progressive is probably going to be the only people that'll touch you, depending on where you're at and what you're trying to do. We go through Progressive. After a year, it drops drastically, and I would recommend changing companies from Progressive into somebody else. There's always brokers and companies that are going to be able to save you a ton of money. You just got to find a good one. Pay for any incident, small incident that you can out of pocket. Don't submit a $500 bumper cover to insurance. Just pay for it out of pocket. Last year we had a dolly fly off one of my wreckers and hit the corner of the quarter panel of this lady's car. It was $1,000 deductible to have insurance take care of it, or I pay $1,700 out of pocket. So pay the $1,000 deductible and then watch my insurance skyrocket when it's up for renewal, or pay the $1,700 out of pocket, let them take it to a shop of their choice, get them a rental car if needed, and call it a day. I paid $1,700 out of pocket because I definitely wasn't letting it ding my insurance. Now, we did have another accident that was my fault, and I regret it every day, but I did have to turn that one into insurance. Which brings me to my next point: maintenance. Maintenance. I will never stress that enough now. Doesn't matter if you buy a brand new truck, doesn't matter if you buy a 30-year-old truck. Make sure you have a very good maintenance schedule. Take the trucks down every once in a while and service them. You have to. It doesn't matter if you lose money, because you'll end up losing something else even bigger in the long run. A driver came to me and said, "Hey man, these brakes feel squishy. Barely stopping." I didn't listen to him. I just told him, I said, "Hey, make that drop." He had a Honda Pilot on the back of it. I said, "Just go out and make that drop." And he never made it there. He actually ended up getting in a head-on collision before he made it. Not his fault. He went around a corner, tried to slow down, brakes didn't work, and when they did, they grabbed and it shot him into the oncoming lane of traffic, and it hit a minivan with a mother and two kids in it. And it could have been a lot worse. I kick myself for it every day. Everybody walked away without a scratch. Insurance took care of everything, but maintenance. If your driver comes and tells you something's wrong, pull the truck off the road, fix it, because they're 9 times out of 10 gonna be right. So even on this 2019 550, they just came back from Pennsylvania, and when they went to Pennsylvania, the truck started death wobbling. Every time he hit a bump, it would shake violently. He FaceTimed me and showed me, and he's loaded with a Chevy 3500 on the back. So I told him to crawl up underneath the truck, see what's going on. Ended up snapping the steering stabilizer. There wasn't much we could do while he was up there out of town. Didn't have any tools. None of the parts stores even carried it. So I said, "Hey, drive slow. Once you're unloaded, it'll act a whole lot better. Come on back home, we'll get it fixed." So fixed it that night that he got back home, and was back on the road. And he went to West Virginia and Richmond yesterday, and then I just came back I'm coming back from West Virginia currently. So check your steering components, check your suspension, check your air and your tires. Check your tires. I've seen a lot of these companies around here rolling with some bald tires. You don't want to have a blowout when you're loaded. It's not fun. I had one on my Freightliner last year, and it takes you for a while to ride. So maintenance your equipment. Oil changes every 5,000 miles. Grease everything up. Take the extra time. Look over it. It will be 100% worth it to have nice running trucks on the road if you maintenance them right. Training, I will say, I got thrown into a truck. I didn't even know how to work the bed. Luckily, I had a guy. He taught me how to strap down the car for the first time, and after that, it was by myself. didn't have the wheel lift straps that I do now, didn't have half the equipment that I do now. The trucks that I got with this other company were very, very, let's just say rough, would be nice, and under-equipped. And obviously me just starting out, I had no idea what I was getting myself into, what I was doing. So make sure you have proper training. I'm sure if you call up another tow company and say, hey, you know, I need some training, I want to make sure I do this right, there's going to be a tow company in your area that says okay, because they would much rather you be safe than them having to come and pick you up off the side of the road because something happened. So just get training, ride around with people. If they let you, show up and watch them. You know, just if you need to follow them around, if you need to pay them, but get the proper training. There's tons of classes. Even you can go to Wreckmaster. Somebody in your area does it local, I guarantee you. It is expensive, but it is very, very well worth it. So my guys are scheduled to go in February to get Wreckmaster traffic control, I believe it is. So you got to have all those when you start getting into heavy stuff anyway. So we're just trying to gear up and get prepared. Last but not least, clientele. They are obviously going to be what makes or breaks your business. Get your name out there. Go around to all the shops and bug the piss out of them. Take them business cards once a week. Just advertise on Facebook. We get a lot of stuff off of Facebook even. Put yourself on Google. Get a good phone number. Find a slogan that rhymes. You know, just do silly stuff to get your name out there. I dropped off business cards for 4 weeks straight at every shop up and down one of our roads. I mean, there's probably 40 shops up and down that road. I was in there every week bugging them. Boom, here's some cards. Finally, I made coffee mugs and had pens and candy in them, and I would drop those off. And every time they made their morning cup of coffee, they said they thought about me. Started using me for tows during the day. So if you be repetitive and, you know, get it in their head like, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I want y'all to use me. You know, they're gonna appreciate that. Once they start using you a little bit, show them that you care. I take a lot of my big customers boxes of donuts once a month, typically on a Friday. Surprise the shops, and you know, obviously get enough because they'll start fighting over them. But just be the human being. I did not get to finish that video in the last clip, but the moral of the story is take care of your customers and they will take care of you. It has been a absolutely crazy day. Phone call after phone call. I had to go to my dealership and do some office work, and just did not have a chance to pick back up the camera, but we got that one dropped off at CarMax. Jonathan had a bunch more calls, had to go to Lynchburg, had to go to North Carolina again today. We have a full day stacked up for tomorrow. It has just been a crazy, crazy month, but I could not be more thankful. So I'm going to try to get better with the videos and try to have more better quality videos out for y'all, and just kind of, you know, that way y'all can see what we do every day. So maybe I'll throw the camera to Jonathan, have him film his day some days, because I do all the boring office paperwork. He's in the truck driving. All I do is sit there, answer phone calls, dispatch it out, work at my dealership. So I know y'all don't want to see that, but I will keep y'all updated. Thank you for watching the video. Stay tuned for more. Have a good night.